Well, last episode we suffered big from injuries and red cards to leave us around the middle of the table, and now the team heads into an exciting stretch of games this time out. Hey, what's going on, guys? Respect the Jeff, back here with Paris FC. We look to get down to business this episode. We've been struggling. Despite that, we have two players on the Player of the Month shortlist. Ilyas Husni, the young 18-year-old, and Wabi Kazri, our veteran attacking midfielder. And up there with some pretty big names alongside Kylian MBAPPE. But our form has not been ideal. We're down to 9th place now. PSG top of the league still by a 7-point gap. And our entire aim here is to close that gap and start becoming the best team in France, but we have some work to do. Dante picked up a red card in that last game, so we're gonna have to rotate a little bit. I wanna stick with this back five we've been doing. This should be perfect for Hajam to slide in and maybe make that spot his own, but it's gonna be a pretty thin squad here. We have 3 injuries in the red card, so a couple young names make their spot on the bench for this one. But we're gonna get straight to the action and hopefully back to winning ways. In the meantime, consider subscribing if you haven't already. And on we go with the season. Let's get to it. All right, here we go, taking the pitch once again and hopefully getting back to winning some games. We had such a bright start to the season, but it has not been without our fair share of challenges this season. So many injuries, red cards, tons of dramatic storylines and games along the way. And honestly, this is one of the more challenging seasons I can remember. Although all said and done, we're doing really well. 9th place is probably right about where we expected to be. I think we can still do even better. But we're going to have to make do with a kind of thin squad to get those kind of results until we can get our footing back and get our preferred starting 11 out there. On the bright side, Wabi Kazri is back, and he's probably the most crucial piece to this puzzle. Kyle Larin looks to make his mark up top. I think it's been especially difficult without our probably number 1 player, Gaetan Lora, who scores so many goals for this club. Larin's done a good job sliding in, but it's just not really the same. But this is the kind of problem all teams are going to deal with at some point. We just need to build a squad that has enough depth to make it through regardless. Lovely save there from Lucas Zidane in what's been a kind of back and forth first half here. Neither team able to get a great chance in on goal, and I think that's just about going to do it. So the whistle blows, 45 minutes down, yet to show anything for it and yet to really make our mark on the game. So we're looking to see a little bit more here. Vinicius Tobias, the right wing back, is back in the squad and looking to make an impact. He had a really bright debut, but he picked up a nasty injury and he's just getting back to it now. Thankfully, he's young and he looks pretty spry still, really driven with the ball, and although he does give it away in that instance, he does look really sharp. There's a big reason that we signed him and made him a priority at right back, and honestly, it's a big trust of faith here to give him the start over Corchia, who has been our first choice right back over the last season or so. Kyle Larin now plays through Ilyas Husni, another promising youngster, to slide it back, and he can't quite get on the return. That is a lovely bit of play, though. That's exactly what we would have been hoping for. Doing really well to harass his man there is Tobias, but can't get away with the ball. That's probably his weakest attribute. Vinicius Tobias is defending, despite being a fullback, or a wingback rather. He definitely is more attacking minded than not, so hopefully he'll continue to grow, but for now it is something to keep an eye out for, hoping he's not a liability. But we have bigger defensive issues. We concede here straight through the center of the pitch. It's a nice little passing sequence that eventually gets it past our goalkeeper, who has been in really good form recently but could not stop that chance. Tobias now picking up the ball on the right hand side. We need a quick response here. It has not been good enough at all from Paris FC. If we want to win out of this game, something needs to change fast. Wabi Kaz returns his man, and just like that, could this be the moment that turns the game around? A red card for the man who really went in with a poor challenge there through the back of Kazri. And that's the second or third time I think that Kazri has drawn in a red card this season. Really good player for us. Tobias now on the wing, takes his man on and puts in a pretty deadly cross looking for Larin, who we know is strong in the air, but it's not enough there to make anything of the chance. 30 minutes remaining and a man up. We really start to turn the pressure on now. Husni plays through Larin, who's waiting for a run ahead of him. No one really on it. Larin's still going, takes the ball wide, waiting for the opportunity to put a chance in, and it's just seen out. It's a great run in the box all the way from center back from Hajim there, who could not convert. So it's Kovic coming on, who is going to go out on loan in January pretty soon, but thanks to all of our shortages, thanks to injuries and all of that, he is pretty much our only striker left in the squad, and he's a pretty good option. He's got a lot of height to him. He's a good finisher, and although he does need to develop a lot more, he is a solid young player in the making. Tobias, chance at goal. Khazri there to clean it up, and we find the goal to equalize just like that. It was Tobias making the run all the way in the box. What a deadly looking player he has been all night. It hasn't quite come off. His crossing hasn't quite found the head of the striker. His finishing hasn't quite made it past the goalkeeper, but he's getting in the right areas and he's creating a lot of chances, which is really all we want from him. I think the maturity will come in time. He's still a teenager. Husni now driving forwards, looking for another one. Kovic over the top. Larin, it's a second. Just like that, we take the lead, and Kyle Larin eventually gets his goal. What an acrobatic kick. It was pretty unconventional in the finish, but it counts just the same, doesn't it? We threw bodies forward. Kovic was the big target man in the box, and although it just went over his head there, that is a really good bit of play. Husni picks up an assist, and look at that finish again from Larin. The spinning karate kick around the back sent the goalkeeper scrambling trying to save that one, and that is a beautiful, beautiful, well-worked goal from Paris FC, and a much-deserved, hopefully game winner. 10 minutes left in the match, but we just gotta hang on here. And there you have it. 92 minutes in, we eventually take the lead. It was all down to that red card probably turning the tide, but a good performance, a good spirited performance from the team. We take all 3 points. All right, well, with that win, we are back up into 6th place, very much still in the running for a European spot. We got some big competition ahead of us, but to be fair, I think we're becoming big competition as well. And the good news keeps rolling in. Alexandru Mitrita is finally back from injury, probably one of our better players before his injury, and we'll have to see exactly where he fits into the lineup. Taking a look at the squad so far and where we stand, Gaetan Lora is still our top goal scorer by a pretty good amount, although he's been out injured for a long time at this point. Khazri slowly catching up, 6 goals, 5 assists, probably our overall best player this season. Husni not looking bad either with 3 and 3, and the assists are coming from everywhere on the bright side. I think that's a really good sign from our team that everyone's getting involved offensively and just looking sharp all over the pitch. Our build-up play has been excellent, and so far I'm enjoying this back 5, although it's going to be a little tricky fitting in some of our players. I'm actually going to go to a back 3. Functionally, it's kind of the same, but I want 2 strikers up top. The question remains, though, with our wingers, where exactly they fit in. Mitrita's back from injury. If we keep going 5 at the back, he doesn't really have a spot. He could try wing back, but we'll see with time. For now, this is working for us, though, and on we go. All right, here we go again. Can we make it 2 from 2? The team looked pretty sharp in the second half last time out. It was a slow start to the game, but like I said, with all the injuries and changing formations, changing players around, I think it's to be expected that we'll be a little slower than usual. We were looking pretty consistent before the injury outbreak, and I think we're doing pretty well, all things considered, to keep adjusting and making this team get results at the end of the day. Luka Zidane makes another outstanding save here. Little early pressure in the game against us, but here we go on the counterattack. Larin picks out Husni, who plays a lovely through ball for Haidara, sprinting down the left-hand side, plays it back to the middle. Larin can't quite get there, but again, a big threat aerially. This game's been end-to-end so far. Dijon now looking for a way through our defense, but it's well won back by Boubakary Somare, and Husni now gets his head up to slide it through for Larin's shot at the goalkeeper, and it is saved. This game has not been short of chances so far, and now a ball off the corner. It's in! I don't know exactly what the game is doing there. It cut the celebrations just a little bit short, but it is a fantastic header from the striker. Looks like maybe something happened as the goalkeeper touched it. Keeps cutting the highlight off there, but like I said, great header off of the corner there, and Kyle Larin comes up again. That's his 4th goal in the league already, and although he's maybe not the same caliber of player as Gaetan Lora in terms of really making chances on his own, he's a solid finisher, and we can get balls into the box and give him good delivery. He will capitalize with some goals. And here we go, picking out a pass. Tobias saved again, and Vinicius Tobias continues to be a threat, playing at right wing back. That spot has become his own. He's looked really, really good in that role, and despite not really scoring as much as all the chances he's had could suggest, he's been a threat. There is no doubt about it, and he continues to be a creative outlet down that right-hand side for us. Khazri now plays through Husni. Lovely drop of the shoulder, and he scores to make it 2. Ilyas Husni, another one who's stepping up big this season. With a 2-goal lead now, we look to be in really good control of this game. Man, Husni is something else. I think especially playing central, like I said, I went the 2 up top this game, and I think that just fits him a little bit better. He's fine as a winger, honestly, but I'd love to get him more involved in play, especially, I think, through the middle, whether that be attacking midfield or striker. Now Khazri getting forward, looking to play him through again. Husni, really good footwork to get around his man. Couldn't get around the second, though. And on rolls the game. Dijon still looking for a way back into this. There is plenty of time, but one back again. The defense on our end has looked great so far in this game. Soumaré now plays through Laren, who does well to hold up play and wait patiently for a run ahead of him, and he plays through Husni. Really well-weighted ball. Husni shot at goal, and a second to make it 3. The Wonder Kid does it once again, and hopefully that is enough to put this game to bed. 3-0. Honestly, at this point, we look to be running rampant here. The offense is really starting to click. I really think the 2 up top is a good solution for us. I think between those two, Husni's a little more creative and good on the ball. Laren is strong, good in the air, and can obviously pick out a pass as well. So on we go here. 13 minutes left. Can we make it even more? Overhead kick from Tobias. Goes to the wayside of the goal, but it's a good opportunity from the right back, who's really looking sharp this season, really growing into his own back there. Dobre now played in behind, and he ruins the clean sheet. 3-1, but there won't be enough time to make anything else of that. Maybe one more chance here as Khazri plays through Tobias, running into space. What can he do here? Another shot cleared by the center back, and Tobias continually looking a threat, but it's not enough to grab his first goal for the club just yet. 3-1 in the end. What a solid performance from the entire team. You love to see it. We're back really in the running for a European spot, and on we go. All right, well, like we said last time as well, good news keeps rolling in. Samuel Piet is back from injury as well. Slowly but surely, I think our injury crisis is coming to an end. Fingers crossed, I don't want to jinx us with anything else, but let's keep the ball rolling. We'll get straight back into action for our next game. Without further ado, let's get to it. Well, Montpellier, not exactly the best team in Ligue 1, so if we're going to win any of these games, this should be a very doable one for us. But there's a whole 90 minutes ahead of us to play, so let's not get ahead of ourselves yet. But we're just starting to get that little bit of consistency we've been missing all season long, and a formation that really seems to work for us. Laren now plays it through. The counterattack just might be on for Paris FC here. Mustafa Nam has the option down the middle, and he picks out Kyle Laren, who's through on goal. Finishes! Great stuff from the striker. Once again, he has really stepped it up here, being our number one man up top with Laura out. He's picked up the responsibility in a big way. He's scoring at least a goal a game all episode long, and that is a well-composed finish to take it through the goalkeeper and just poke it into the top corner. And that puts us in really good position already early in the match here. Only 8 minutes in, and we look to have taken control. We just need to keep it up. We've seen us do it twice already this episode. Just a matter of consistency now. We're really shaping up defensively as well, closing down play, winning balls back in what could be dangerous areas. And here we go, Haidara, the left wingback, patiently cuts it back for Khazri, top of the box, who looks to play a clever ball through, not far off at all. But that takes us through the first half into the second here. Eli Wahi out wide, being closed down. Vinicius Tobias doesn't come away with the ball, and a cross into the box. Fingertip save by the goalkeeper, and again, Lucas Zidane proves his worth between the sticks with really a difference maker in terms of saves. Looking at the replay, it kind of was right at him, but to be fair, he's been great all season, super consistent for a change, and that puts us in a great position here. Half an hour left in the game. We're still very much in control, but Montpellier definitely not giving up by any stretch. Ball played offsides there, and now can we get attack going of our own here. Haidara looking to play out from the back. Gives it away though, poor under pressure here. Makuana looking to play it through. Hajam flies in, doesn't get a foot to it. Still going here, the winger Bamba trying to close down. No one can get the ball off of him at the moment. Femenia into the box, lofted up, falls to the feet of the striker. Eventually it is tucked away, 1-1. Unfortunately, that's probably all down to our own doing there. Giving the ball away dangerously in the build-up play. Didn't play the safe option. Now we have to answer for that. 20 minutes left in the match. Can we make something of this? Sumare rides out the challenge and does really well. Great footwork. He's shown a couple times this season, Sumare, that he is a fantastic dribbler. Really good close control. That little dink away to just take it through, but that's not enough to make a difference in attack for us just yet. Haidara now charging forwards again. Tons of energy, the left back. Looking to put a ball into the box. Khazri dinks it over the top. Mustafa Nam can't quite get there. And unfortunately for us, that might be the last chance. Nam looking to play it forward. Laren, one more ball. No, the whistle blows, and it's a disappointing draw for us. 2 points dropped, and a game we probably should have won. They only really had the one chance. We couldn't finish the rest of ours, and we pay the price for it at the end. So it's a point apiece, and on we go. All right, well, we roll on with the season, not the end of the world. We are in 5th place right now, so things are really shaping up for us. And as we approach January here, we are right at the end of December. Taking a look at the squad, a couple players are out of contract at the end of the year. We're going to want to take a look at that for sure and see exactly who we want to keep and who we don't. Like I mentioned earlier, Kovic has left out on loan. Hopefully he'll come back next season. It's just a short-term loan and show what he's got up top for us. But taking a look at the current squad, we have a lot of players running out of contract at the end of the season, so I'm going to renew the ones we want to keep and we'll make a late decision on some of the others. I think all of the youngsters, even if they're not ready to start now, deserve a chance to stick around. So Banama, a potential wonder kid in the making. Ange Chiesa, one of the promising center backs out of our academy. Bolosian's another one who we've actually seen play really well through preseason in some of these games. Taking a look at names elsewhere, I think Mustafa Nam is another player who's really showed his worth this season, starting most of the games in midfield and looking sharp, so we're going to sign him up again, and although he is going to be paid a lot, I think it's worth it. Now, on a disappointing note, Wabi Khazri doesn't look to have the ability to renew his contract. We'll see as the season goes on if that's not some kind of issue, but if he stands out, he might be leaving us at the end of the season. I think other players, though, who are playing an important role, Matrita definitely deserves to stick around. He's been a pretty key attacking player for us. Some of the other ones, Zidane obviously has gone from maybe looking to be shown the door to being our #1 goalkeeper. And now with this list filtered out a little bit, these are some of the players I'm not sure about. Khazri we want to keep if we can, but Corchia, Lopez, Dante, Piet, they're all players who play some sort of role in the team, but aren't necessarily guaranteed starters anymore and are getting up there with age. So if we want to be building this team for the future, we might end up just looking at replacements instead. But definitely let me know in the comments what you guys think, whose contracts we should renew, who we should be keeping, or feel free to join the Discord and talk with us directly. There's a lot of good conversation already going on in there, and huge shout out to all of you who have been involved with the Discord channel. A lot of these storylines and the players that we're keeping, things like that, are directly related to the feedback you guys are giving me. And as we head up towards January, I'm going to be turning towards the Discord chat to give me suggestions on who to sign and ultimately pick who will join our team. In the meantime, consider subscribing if you haven't already to stay up to date with the series, and I'll be back soon with the next episode. But until then, I'm Respect the Jeff, and I'll see you next time.